This came in from the United States Department of Justice, Office of Public Affairs. West Virginia County Deputy Sheriff charged with using excessive force and engaging in cover-up. A federal court unsealed a 2-count indictment today against Monongalia County, West Virginia Deputy Sheriff Lance Carezza, 38, for depriving an individual of his civil rights by using excessive force and for writing a false report to cover it up. According to the indictment, on January 20th, 2018, while on duty, Carezza subjected the victim to excessive force by punching and elbowing him in the face, and, after the victim was handcuffed, spraying him with pepper spray and striking him. The offense resulted in bodily injury and included the use of a dangerous weapon. The indictment further alleges that Carezza falsified his use of force report by claiming he used pepper spray before the victim was handcuffed and by omitting any documentation of post-handcuffing force. Carezza was arrested early this morning and is scheduled to make his initial court appearance later this morning. If convicted, Carezza faces up to 10 years in prison for the civil rights violation and up to 20 years in prison for falsifying the report. Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clark of the Justice Department Civil Rights Division, U.S. Attorney William Ellenfeld for the Northern District of West Virginia, and Special Agent in Charge Michael D. Nordwall of the FBI Pittsburgh Field Office announced the indictment. The FBI is investigating the case with the support of Monongalia County Sheriff's Office. Yeah, sure. Assistant U.S. Attorney Sarah E. Wagner for the Northern District of West Virginia and Trial Attorney Kyle Boynton of the Civil Rights Division's Criminal Section are prosecuting the case. Just a side note, the county prosecutor refused to press charges against this officer. The feds picked it up. That was in 2018 this happened. And people wonder why. There's no trust in cops or prosecutors.
A West Virginia deputy has been indicted by the feds. It just hit the news a few days ago. I figured there must be some body cam footage of this incident, so I went ahead and sent a FOIA request to the employer agency. I was holding off on discussing this case until I saw the footage. I've now received a response from the Sheriff's Department, and you're not going to like it. I know I didn't. Here's what we know as of right now. Monongalia County, that's Morgantown, Sheriff's Office, Deputy Lance Carezza has been indicted in federal court for a felony civil rights violation after allegedly punching and pepper spraying a handcuffed suspect, as well as for attempting to cover it up by filing a false police report. The DOJ issued a press release. I went ahead and pulled the unsealed indictment off Pacer. Unfortunately, it doesn't contain much in the way of details. I rightfully assume that there must be body cam footage. That has now been confirmed by the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of West Virginia, who gave a media interview explaining that there was indeed body cam footage of this incident, and that it was key to their decision to indict the defendant officer. Once we saw the evidence and interviewed the witnesses, we knew that this case had to be charged. He also noted that the Monongalia County Prosecutor's Office decided not to pursue state charges. That's not. So that means that the body cam footage must be good, or rather bad. In fact, he said, the video really speaks for itself. And if that's the case, why did the state-level county prosecutor not file charges? As soon as I heard about the initial indictment, and I saw this DOJ press release, I went ahead right away and sent a FOIA request to the Sheriff's Department. As of this morning, they responded, denying my request on the grounds that there's a federal prosecution taking place. The problem is, however, I didn't FOIA the feds, but rather the county, who has decided not to prosecute. As the group exited the floor, Carezza ordered one of the guests to open the door to a nearby room where he found a man sleeping. Carezza then allegedly began to shake the man and hit his feet to wake him up. When the guest explained he was sleeping, Carezza threw him off the bed and beat him. As the contact escalated, Carezza restrained the guest as the 6 other officers were in the room. So if you've watched some of my recent videos, you've heard about the fact that the Constitution still applies to you if you're a tenant of a hotel room. But that's not even what this federal indictment is about. Just an aside. Continuing with what the federal prosecutor said, he said this particular victim had a flashlight in his face and he thought it was just his friends messing around with him. It turned out that it was a sheriff's deputy, and from there it really got out of control. Carezza battered and used pepper spray on the victim while handcuffed. while the suspect was being taken off the property, Caretza then allegedly continued to use unnecessary force. The report that was filed after this did not indicate that pepper spray had been deployed after handcuffs were used. In fact, it said pepper spray was deployed before handcuffs were used, which was not consistent with the video evidence we have. Again, that's from the federal prosecutor. He's referencing the body cam footage, which should have been provided to me so that we could see it, so that the public could see it.